Hello and welcome to the Sky Spirit channel. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for dropping in wherever you're watching from. Stick around with me for the next 45 minutes to an hour and we'll have a look at what's going to happen for you over the next 2 days. So if you're curious and you're interested in tarot and a little dabble into astrology, then stick with me and we'll have a look. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of astrology, just a dip your toes in sort of overview. Now also I thought I'd put in this section, there's been so much solar activity recently, solar flares, and there's also like magnetic shifts and things like that, magnetic storms going on. And it feels like everybody I talk to is having problems with sleep, or they just feel so exhausted, or they've had trouble sort of motivating. And it's been a really difficult time for so many people. Happy birthday to your gran in heaven, Kaza. Sorry, I've just seen that. It's been a really difficult time for people with energy and stuff like that, and so I'm hoping that that's going to improve now, because I think I can feel a shift, and I hope you can too. So that might be helped by today's astrology, because we've got Venus in Aries, so we've got some nice spicy energy going on there, particularly when it comes to feelings and emotions. And Venus in Aries is going to sextiles, is going to make a pattern like this with Jupiter in Gemini. And what that Jupiter and Gemini are both quite lively, vivacious energies that bring opportunity and luck, and just like Gemini always reminds me of like the luck of the Irish type of thing, that sort of people who can talk their way out of anything. So it just feels like it could be, you could have opportunities today, more opportunities than you know what to do with. Like, imagine there's like going to be so much choice. You're at a pick and mix stall and you're just looking at all the sweets and you don't know which one to take. So take them all. Yeah, live a bit. But yeah, that's today, opportunities. Now tomorrow you're being more urged to I think it's trust divine timing. Tomorrow, the astrology is a little more tricky. We've got Mercury in Gemini, and that's aspecting with Mars in Leo. So again, Mercury in Gemini is communication and things like that, but Mars in Leo, ooh, there's a lot of fire going on there. It's the kind of day where you would be advised to wait before you open your mouth. Make sure you've got your facts right, and make sure that you're not treating somebody to the sharp side of your tongue. So good morning to everybody. Good morning, Gav. Good morning, Reesway and Nacy. And I've said hello, Kaza. I think KLG was there as well, I think. Right. So let's have a look now at the collective reading. So my little collective readings in the morning they could be directed at you. It's my way of being able to do a full like narrative, even though it's a 3 card, it's still that full narrative. So I always think if you're meant to receive a message, then this could very well be for you. Okay, it could also just apply on a more overarching sort of way. Good morning, Sue. How are you doing? So we start with a collective reading. This could be yours, might just be overarching. I think I'm going to have to find a different word to that. Right. Okay, so we've got the Empress and the 5 of Wands and the Hermit reversed. So what this would say to me is that it's talking about sort of difficulties around home and around sort of family members or people around you being competitive and making your creative, like getting in the way of your creative path, because the Empress is very creative and she has a drive to manifest things and to make things work, and it's a mothering, nurturing energy with a lot of love involved in it. And then we've got the 5 of Wands, which is it can be a little bit tricky. Now this can be teamwork, either negative or positive, but because we've got the Hermit reversed here, I'm going to look at that as a sort of like, you feel like you want to get away from these people. It's too much noise. Yeah, you want the solitude of the Hermit. Feels like these people are sort of, it's like a swarm of bees around you, constantly like wanting this, wanting that, when really you're just trying to be the the person who looks after everybody, the empress, but also you feel quite a responsibility for nurturing the people around you and for moving things forward for people. But they sort of like, they're never happy. It feels like they're never happy. And it makes you feel like you want to be the hermit and you just want to retreat and get rid of them all, okay? But this hermit is reversed. So it's basically saying to you, okay, take your time out from, the busyness around you, okay? But you're needed, all right? You're needed to shine your light on the path so that everybody can see their way forward. So even though you feel like getting away from people, take a little bit of time out, but those people do need you and they are beneficial to you as well. So it is a give and take relationship between you. It's just they wear you out a bit. That's what I'm getting from that. Right, so moving on to the pick a card reading. So what I do is I'm going to put down 12 sets of 2 cards, okay? Choose a number. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted by the chat there. Choose a number between 1 and 12, or choose more than one number, and you can either think of a question, or you might write it down, or you might think of nothing and sort of just see what resonates with you. You could just clear your mind, or sometimes it's a good thing to think, okay, what does the tarot want me to know today? What message is meant for me? And then just listen. And also remember, even if you're not looking for answers, I think it's important to remember that the tarot, each single card, and of course the combinations, I don't know what the maths is and how many combinations there are in a deck of 78 cards, but sorry, that's me doing a quick shuffle. Each card has a message, a meaning, and a lesson for you. So even if you're just listening in, then listen to the meanings of the cards, because they're all important and we all go through the same things in life. That's why the tarot is so powerful, I believe, because it speaks to the collective unconscious. Because no matter who we are, no matter what culture we're from, where we live in the world, what color, race, creed, whatever it is about us, then we all share so many experiences, and that's what the tarot reflects, with its archetypal journey between along the major arcana, and then the minors reflecting those everyday tasks and tribulations that we all share. And I've got somebody watching on Facebook. Hello. How are you doing? Right, okay, let's get on with this. Okay, I just feel the need to cut that deck again there. Right, so I'm going to put the cards here, reason being that if you can't be bothered to listen to me rabbiting on, you can, and you're watching this as a recording, you can just use the skip and skip to the number, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, the number that you want, and you'll be able to see that I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like that way. Right. Okay, let's start with number 6. Interesting. Right, so we've got the 10 of Pentacles, which is about money, but then we've got the World reversed, which is about a hiccup, a failure to complete something. So you'd see these cards if there was a failure to sign contracts on a house deal, or if there was a real stumbling block when it came to securing finances, or some money that was being waited for, that sort of there's a last minute snag and it doesn't materialize. So if you've chosen number 6, or this resonates with you, then it's time to, if you are, for example, waiting on something to happen, it might be worth following up with that. Give somebody a ring, send somebody a message, or check something out and make sure that the wheels are turning as you expect them to, because it feels like there's like this unbalanced sense of there's a delay with money here. Now the good news is that the 10 of Pentacles is a good card, and it indicates that that money will be coming to you, but it does feel like with your World reversed here that there is something that needs straightened out in order for the transaction to complete. So it's really worth, I'm terrible for bills and things like that, and even invoicing for work I usually forget, and then and I've just forgot what I was going to say. I've just forgot what the point of that sentence was. Good grief. Yeah, right. So for me, that would be like the amount of times I've done something wrong because I haven't bothered checking paperwork back, or haven't like checked my emails, or haven't like checked what's in the bank or whatever. So it's that sort of energy. Is like, if you are that person, if you are disorganized like me, then check your finances, okay? Because there's something that's due to you, but there's something holding it up. So that's for the next 48 hours. So watch out for that financial obstacle, we'll say. Right, number 7. Ooh, okay. So we've got a potential problem with in the work environment. Could be something that was going to start off that doesn't get off the ground, or it could be the fact that there's something that you've done wrong at work, or a work situation that's worrying you, that could be playing on your mind, or you could be sort of waiting for the call into the office, like the sword of Damocles to fall, like that sort of when you've been discovered, and it feels like that's really sort of tearing into you at the moment. If you have a look at my Three of Swords card, that's the card of heartbreak. That's when you feel like the daggers in your heart. Now, this could also be a sort of another sort of nuance of that interpretation, would be some kind of issue at work to do with a relationship with somebody, because we've got the Three of Swords, which is the broken heart, and we've got a Page of Pentacles. So it could be person at work, somebody youthful or seems youthful, and there's a difficulty in a relationship with them, and it could be causing you quite a lot of pain. So watch out for either a mistake at work that you need to address because it's playing heavily on your mind, or there's a relationship at work which is causing friction, which isn't going as it should do. So you need to address that, and be realistic about it, I would say. Now, the good thing with a Three of Swords is that, unlike the two, which is very static, a three is very mobile, which means that when you see the Three of Swords, it's like, it's heartbreak, but it's also you're moving away from it. It's that number 3, which takes you to, three is a creative number, because if you think of all life, it's one cell plus another cell equals the baby cell. So it's like a 3 is that it's birthed your next stage, okay? So these are, although on the face of it, it speaks of a problem, it also speaks of a way out, because it's like it's come to a head and you move past it. Okay, let me know if that resonates with you. Number 8. Well, this is interesting. Number 8, you've got the Knight of Wands and the Ace of Cups. This could be, if you are on the market for romance, these would be really good cards. Ace of Cups, beginning of a relationship. Knight of Wands, striking character, galloping in on the horse there, full of energy and enthusiasm. And it's something that happens quick. It would be like, love at first sight, or just somebody who comes into your life, like really suddenly, and like makes a big impact on you, and all of a sudden it changes you, and you think it renews your faith in people, and it starts you on this belief that there could be a new beginning for you, because it feels like you might have sort of reached a point of stagnation where you think, do you know what, like, I'm not interested in moving forward with any relationships, don't want to change the one that I'm already in, just gonna be like I am now forever. And this is about, oh no, you're not, this is going to change. So whether you're in a relationship and it's a stable relationship and you want to stay there, which is fine and great, then expect that to strengthen. If you are looking for love, expect that to turn up. This is actually like, this is a really good manifestation duo of cards. It's like, if you've got tarot at home and you're looking for a relationship, if you put these cards next to your bed and meditate on them, that would put that energy out there to the universe. It's really like pulling in an energetic, that loved up feeling and a new beginning. So these are such positive cards for that respect. If you're absolutely set on single life, then be single. But it's also, these cards would mean that sort of, it sounds like I'm just giving you a get out clause here, but this is actually interpretation. I'm not making this up. It would mean that you move into a better relationship with yourself, like feeling happy in your own skin, feeling confident by yourself, feeling that, you are all you need. But seriously, I love those cards. Let me know if this resonates for you. and if that manifests for you. But of course, you know, when you talk about manifesting things, you can't just sit back and wait for them to happen. It's not like saying, okay, well, I want my knight in shining armor to turn up and then just sort of sitting waiting. You actually got to put the wheels in motion with your you know, your statements, and when you start to manifest. But then it's no good sort of doing all that and then sitting back and going, right, where is it? Come to me. You've got to get out there and do things as well. So you've got to put that opportunity is not going to walk into your home if you never leave your house. I'm giving myself advice here. You have to get out. So you have to put yourself in the pathway of opportunity. But seriously, if you've chosen number 8, brilliant, brilliant cards. Number 9. We're not going to finish on number 9 today because I'm always doing that. Right, okay. So number 9, okay, I've got a page of wands reversed, and then I've got the 4 of swords reversed. So I'm looking at, this could be some news that floors you a little bit today, and you could be thinking, gosh, I wasn't expecting to hear that. It's taken the wind out of my sails a little bit. Could be that there's changes to travel plans or unexpected news of things. It's a bit of a shake-up. So it feels like you're going to receive notification of something which was unexpected, but it's sort of like it could have stopped a creative task or a creative project that you've got in mind, because wands are very much sort of creativity, activity. It's fire. It's what gives you inspiration and spark in life. But when this is reversed and it's a page, it's like, boom, it's stopped. It's been stopped in its tracks. And then we have the 4 of swords, which is like you're so exhausted by it, and it feels like you've had a bit of a knock. But this is a reversed card, and what I like to say with this card, here's the man and he's lying in bed, okay? When this is reversed, he's literally being tipped out of bed. So the message of this card is, okay, you take a knock, all right? You get some news which isn't what you expected, or might mean you have to change your plans. However, it'll take the wind out of your sails, but you're being tipped out of bed here. You're being told, stand up, pull yourself together, move forward and forge your way forward, because this is only a temporary setback or a temporary change. And what you might find, because we've still got page energy here, is that what you change to, the changes that you make, do lead to a better outcome overall. So it gives you the opportunity to achieve something that you wouldn't have achieved if your plans hadn't changed. Does that make sense? If it does, let me know. Number 10, whoa, we've got the Tower reversed and the King of Cups reversed. Well, this is a bit explosive, isn't it? So my King of Cups reversed can be sort of a man who is not in touch with his emotions, or I always say a man, sorry, I should say a masculine energy. Somebody who's not in touch with their emotions, or it's like it's the opposite of somebody who wears their heart on their sleeve. They're quite closed off. Now this can even be somebody who shouts a lot, or somebody who can even be physically violent, but certainly somebody who can be quite explosive. So it appears that this is leading to a tumultuous episode. It feels like it's coming to a head, the problems with this masculine energy. Okay, it feels like there's been a point of, I'm not putting up with this, or I can't listen to this anymore, this person or this situation is sort of, it needs to go. The Tower moment has arrived. Now the Tower can be a moment of epiphany, and it's a moment of change. It's like when the Tower falls, it basically means that something is knocked down from the top to the foundations in order that it can be rebuilt. Because if you build on poor foundations, or if you knocked it half down and just like did a bit of pointing and put a couple of new windows in, then it would fall to bits anyway. Okay, so sometimes you just need to start again. You need to knock everything down, rebuild from the foundations up. So it feels like the disruption from this masculine energy, okay, which is sort of coming to a head, and it's causing you problems, all right, leading to that Tower moment. It feels like that whole thing needs knocked down. That might be that if this is a person, it's a kind of no contact situation. That would be an example of how these cards would work. But it could well be there could be another. That's a very literal explanation. And the thing is with the tarot is they're not literal, they're sort of archetypes. So you could put 100 different interpretations into those two cards. I'm giving you an example and a generic overview of how that might fit into your unique life, because all of our lives are just so different. Oh, shut up, dogs. Is it all right if I scream down the stairs? Shut up. They always start barking at this time when I'm doing this. Right, so we need to get rid of this masculine energy. You're reaching the tower moment. You're going to rebuild. You're going to move past this stage, and it's going to put you in a better position moving forward. When the tower falls and it's rebuilt, it's always stronger. Okay. Why are the dogs going mad? I don't think there's anybody knocking on the door. Right. Okay. Number 11. Number 11. We have the... Oh, it's a king and queen. We've got the King of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles, but the Queen of Pentacles is standing on her head, so she's reversed. So, oh no, sorry, they're two kings. I'm looking at that. I think it's the Queen. I've got two kings in my hand. The King of Pentacles is reversed. So this is very interesting. Okay, so we've got two male influences or two masculine energies in conflict. Now, this could be two people, so it could be like two blokes. All right, there's a very literal explanation. Or it could be, it could be the energies within you. So it could be, you know, that sort of angel on your shoulder, devil on your shoulder situation where something's telling you one thing and something's telling you the other. Now, because we've got pentacles and wands here, it feels like this is a dilemma between material things, between finances, and between energy, between like... It would be a situation where you knew you had to do something work-wise or had to change job or something, but you really couldn't be bothered. Like you just like wanted to stay where you were and you didn't have the energy to do it moving forward. And these would be the kind of cards that you would see. It's that real conflict between needing to put a roof over your head and needing to be a sovereign of your own finances, and also like a distinct lack of vision and motivation and energy to do so. It's like it's a push me pull you situation where both kings are sort of struggling to make themselves heard. So it's like that conflict of two kings. So we've got two explanations there. It's either two masculine energies around you who are at conflict, and at loggerheads it's a real... Honestly, if my dogs don't shut up in a minute, so it's like a real stalemate between them when two people are very matched energy wise and they, you know, they won't back down sort of situation. And if it's not two masculine energies around you, it could be within yourself. Okay, so that's also a plausible explanation of these two cards. All right. And the message, I guess the message, because it's all right saying what's going on, but what would be the message of these cards? I think it is about that balance, isn't it? Because you've got one up, one down, coming from two different viewpoints. So I think it's about compromise, and it's about examining the whole situation to discover the best way forward, or to decide what can be done for the best. Okay, number 12. Interesting. So we've got the Fool reversed and the Page of Swords reversed. So my Page of Swords reversed is sort of somebody who's been quite impulsive, somebody who's jumped in, somebody who's been impatient. And this also teams with the Fool reversed. These cards, they look similar, don't they? They look quite similar. When I turned them over, I was like, ooh. But they also are quite similar, because the Page of Swords rushes in. Okay, he rushes in without considering his options properly. All right, when he's reversed, so he's sort of like too impatient, too quick, too much speed, not enough consideration of the options, just blindly rushing in here. And the Fool reversed is a similar energy, because the Fool reversed, the Fool this way up is It's about new beginnings, it's about freedom, it's about stepping out on a new journey. Imagine being a university student off traveling around South America for the first time. There's your Fool. The Fool reversed would be the student off traveling around South America for the first time who forgets their passport and then decides to smuggle themselves to Venezuela and then decides to be a drug mule and then gets themselves into all sorts of trouble. So that's your Fool reversed. And then the Page, that's a bit extreme. The Page of Swords reversed is really similar. Apart from this is a bit more of somebody who is not just a bit foolish, but is actually sort of, you know, a bit brash and making those decisions and rushing in and going for it. So good morning, Lynn. How are you? I think if you've chosen number 12, you need to rein yourself in a little bit. That would be the advice from these cards. And it's like, it's a real warning not to jump in with 2 feet into any projects that you're considering. You know, test the wind before you make a decision and calm that impulsivity and fiery nature that you have, you know, because it feels like the Page of Swords reversed would be the kind of person that would just go, do you know what? I'm just going to gamble all this money on red or black roulette. You know, it's that sort of energy, that excitement, impulsivity, but it's sort of, it doesn't always work out, does it? Because you can lose everything. And the Fool reversed is that similar thing. It's really saying, okay, don't be a fool. Don't be impulsive. Don't step out without considering the consequences of your actions. That could actually tie in with tomorrow. You've got astrology wise, it's like, you know, being careful. You should be careful about if you feel the urge to clear the air, think about what words you're using. So that might tie in with that as well. So it's sort of telling you to temper yourself, pull back, don't bound straight into something. Number one, we've got the 5 of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords reversed. So it feels like something that you started didn't work out, and it feels like there's been a misdirection, and what looked like a clear path forward with my Ace of Swords, a new beginning and sort of new energy, a new sort of start. You see he's got the sword is coming out of the clouds of confusion because it sort of cuts through all the clouds and sort of clarity becomes yours, and it's like you can see your path forward. When it's upside down, it's all a bit of a flop. Okay, it's like it sort of didn't work out how you expected. That shaft of inspiration seems to have dulled a little bit, and your sword's not quite as shiny as it was. So it's that sort of feeling of a little bit of disappointment. Now, this can also be, I'm just giving you another explanation here. It's also a card which talks about fertility. So if you've been having problems with fertility, then it's a card which would acknowledge that and say that it's something which is around you at the moment. But again, that's obviously, I'm putting a very literal explanation. That's one of the literal explanations of this card reversed. But it's something that, like, I guess, you know, if you're trying to start a new life, then it's that sort of trying to start and then stopping, and it's sort of, it hasn't worked, and then you try again. And that's the energy of that card. And also team it with the, sorry to bring you another negative here, but we've got the 5 of Pentacles, and this talks about loss. You see, these 2 people are leaving. They've actually been kicked out of their house, and they're rushing through a snowstorm. They've got really, he's only got one leg, he's had a leg taken off and he's on crutches, and she has rubbish shoes on, and they're sort of going through a snowstorm, so they're not feeling too great about themselves. It's like they feel like they've lost something. They've actually been evicted from the house, so it's that material belongings lost, that sort of something that started and didn't work out right. However, with this card, the 5 of Pentacles, 5's are about change, so it's talking about, even though this project or even though this thing hasn't turned out how you wanted it to, or that you dreamed it would, and you've lost out on it, you feel you've lost out on it, you're actually heading in a new direction. Because the sort of the good part of this card, we've got a door, we've got a portal here, and it's actually, this is supposed to be a church on the original illustrations, and it's talking about that there is help there, because remember, in the days of old, we looked on the church as a charitable organization, somewhere to get sanctuary. So this card is about being able to find that sanctuary and being open to receiving help from others around you in order to go through the portal and to get back onto the full energy of the Ace of Swords, which would be that sort of power thrust, that knowing where you want to go again. All right, so it's a sort of get back on the horse combination of cards. This, it's like take the hit but move on, start again, because there's help there to be had, and you will go back to start this project again or similar. Number two, we have got the Three of Cups reversed, and then the Nine of Swords. Excuse me. Do you know we're not having great cards this morning? Do you know why is that? It's funny, some days they're just all like joyful, and other days they're a bit meh. So not impressed with the cards today. We have got the Three of Cups reversed, and we've got the Nine of Swords. So one of the explanations of the Three of Cups reversed can be overindulgence in something, or, you know, putting your eggs all in one basket, over celebrating, putting all your emotions into somebody and them not being reciprocated, or, you know, just something that you've not been moderate about. So it could be like, if you look at the illustration on here, it's three ladies dancing with their cups in the air. And they're drunk, basically. So the literal explanation of this card, when it's upside down, can be like overindulgence in alcohol or food or substances or anything like that has taken a lot, and you've put a lot into it, but you've overdone it, okay? But it can also mean, I mean, overindulgence doesn't necessarily need to be, you know, like a substance or something like that, does it? It can be, you can look at it sort of looking outside of the box. It can be putting all your emotions into something. It can be spending too much time with one person in particular. It can be spending too much time on something and neglecting other things. That's all overindulgence. And it's led to a position where you've put yourself into a bit of a nightmare situation. Nine of Swords is our nightmare, stress, anxiety card. So it feels like overindulgence, in one of the ways that we have just talked about, has led to a situation that feels like it's a bit of a nightmare and it's making you anxious. The good thing with the Nine of Swords is that the nine is almost at the completion. So it feels like this is current, okay? It's like a situation that could almost keep you awake at night. It's like when you have those intrusive thoughts, or just that, you know, that trundling chain of thoughts ruminating in your head that would keep you awake at night worrying about it. So it feels like this overindulgence, is imbalance of whatever it is, has caused this problem for you at the moment, which is giving you a bit of a headache. All right, the good news is that this is come to a head and it's almost worked through. So you just need to keep a tight grip. Keep a hard is what they say around here. Keep a hard, and wait for the energies to return you to a better position. But I'd say, like, the lesson from these cards would be, once this like problem has cleared, once this anxiety has passed, don't go down the same path again, because it's like, you know, so much of our lives is cyclic. I can't remember how to say it, but and it's about repeating patterns, isn't it? When you look at how many times have you done the same thing or gone down the same road and like expected a different answer. So this would be, don't do that again. Don't go down that same path, whatever that is. Hi, Helena. How are you doing? Number 3. Okay. Right. Interesting. So we've got the Seven of Cups and we've got the Two of Wands reversed. So this to me would mean that you're struggling to make plans. You're not quite sure which way to go. Seven of Cups can be a card of many, many choices, but it's also about dreams and fantasies and sort of choosing the right way forward. You probably can't, you won't be able to see this. And look at my autofocus will make this go funny. Oh, I don't, you probably can't see that. Right, but what it is, I shall tell you. You've got 7 cups and in them there's all sorts of weird paraphernalia, like a lizardy thing, a snake, a head, there's like a ghost, a wreath of flowers. And it's basically, right, this guy's like, whoa, I've got so many choices. I don't know which one to take. but it can also mean that he's dreaming and fantasizing about, well, I can do all these things, and he's not choosing the right way. Okay, so what this card says is, all right, yeah, there's lots of choices, but you need to decide on what the most practical way forward is, because at the minute you're in a stalemate. You're not planning to move forward. Look at this card. It is a guy holding a world. He has the world in his hands. The world is your oyster. He's looking out over the horizon, over the sea. So it's travel. It's moving forward to new horizons. But this is reversed because it's blocked, because you're either not sure of which choice to make, or you're deluding yourself, living in a fantasy dream world where there's all sorts of options that you keep considering. It's like, you know, the perpetual, like, starting projects and not finishing them, choosing, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go down this route, and then not finishing it, and then choosing something else and then not finishing it, and you end up not moving any further forward because you're constantly trying and starting new things and not finishing them. So these two cards together would say, right, what you need to do is be a little bit realistic. All right, what takes up too much of your time? What options are best for you? Sit down, work them out, be realistic, talk to somebody who's got their feet on the ground, somebody who's an earth sign, somebody who's a Capricorn, a Taurus, a Virgo. These people are very good, particularly a Taurus, at talking to you about things like this and sort of helping you ground a little bit and see which options are suitable and which are pie in the sky. These are pie in the sky, a lot of them. And then this card, we can write that energy. You'll be able to make the plans. You'll be able to move forward, because it feels like there's a lot on the horizon, but you're holding yourself back by going down all these different options and like deluding yourself about what choices that you have. Number four, Queen of Swords reversed and Page of Cups reversed. So what I would say, the Queen of Swords reversed can be a really problematic card. She can be, I call her the real bitch of the deck, because Swords, the Queen of Swords, is a manipulative woman. She's very intelligent. She speaks well. She's mercurial minded. She's quick witted. Okay. And when she's like this way up, her energy's spiky, but she's a good leader. She gets things done. She's the kind of person that you'd say, yeah, but she's tough but fair. Okay. But when she goes upside down like this, her negative aspects become far stronger. So she can be jealous, deceitful, she can gossip, she can stab you in the back, okay, with her sword. So it's a really disruptive female or feminine energy, I should say. And then on top of that, we've got the Page of Cups reversed. As I said, the cards aren't being particularly nice today, are they? So this card would be like, it feels like this female, feminine energy really pricks the wind. No, I was going to say pricks the wind out your sails. It's not, isn't it? It just pricks the balloon, deflates the balloon, takes the wind out your sails. It feels like she takes the wind out of your sails. Okay, now I'm saying she, could be a he, just could be somebody who's a real bitch, or that kind of situation. She takes the wind out your sails. The Page of Cups reversed is somebody whose creative drive is just all just dribbled out of his wonderful creative cup. Okay, so it feels like this sort of little blip really affects you, but I think the message from these cards would be, it's affected you too much. It feels like you have this wonderful energy, and the page is also an energy almost like an ace. It's like a new beginning. It's like when you're full of wonder and joy, and like when you can't be told that what you're doing is wrong, when you're so enthusiastic about it, and then it feels like this person comes along and deflates you, sort of rains on your parade, and makes you feel like you don't want to do that anymore, or it knocks your self-confidence. It's that feeling of having a knocked self-confidence. So the message would be, you need to discount what this person says, because it's a reversed energy. It feels like the problem is more on their part than it is on your part. Okay, so try to have broader shoulders, I think, is the message, and return to your full Page of Cups energy, which is magic, creativity, moving forward with creative ideas. It also can be romance as well, so there's also that possibility. My dogs are barking again. Tomorrow I'm going to put them in the garden. I won't really absolutely spoil them. So number 5. Right, so we've got the 6 of Pentacles. Oh, there is somebody at my door. Right, bear with me. I have to go because I'm waiting for somebody to pick up a parcel. Have a look at the scruffy shelves behind us. I can't remember how to turn the camera on. Yay. Thank you for that. Sorry about that. Not very professional, is it? But at least I haven't gone to sleep yet on the live stream, but I'm working up to that. What was I doing? What was I doing? I think we just finished one, hadn't we? I'm going to do number 5, and I think that's our last ones. So, number 5. Oh, I had that in my hand because we've got the 6 of Pentacles reversed and the Sun reversed. This talks about, let's look at this card first. This is a card of Bear. Maybe so. That would make it the rest of the day a bit more interesting, wouldn't it? Right, so the giving and receiving card, when it's upside down, it's like it'd be like moths coming out, Kaza. It's a card that says if you get offered something that feels too good to be true, then it probably is. There's like, watch out for gifts with strings attached. Watch out for somebody offering to do something with an ulterior motive. You know, like if someone says, oh, well, I can come around and do your garden, but actually they want you to decorate their spare room, you know, and it's like that giving from that position, not just for giving, just giving because you want something. So watch out for that happening, because it feels like with the Sun reversed, I'm going to say it feels like this can cause quite a lot of distress for you. It feels like if you went down this path of accepting this gift or something that's given to you, but in not in good faith, it's like when you know that expression, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Look this gift horse in the mouth and look down its throat and pull its tongue out and have a really good look under it, because it feels like that things are not as they seem, and it could lead you into a position of financial loss, or also sort of a bit of depression, a bit of like feeling despondent because it wasn't what you expected it to be. Okay, so be on your guard against false Father Christmases, false Santas, people that try to give you something but it's not as it seems. I'd also be wary of, you know, if you've got any business transactions today or the sort of contractual things, anything that needs a completion date, you know, like a house sale or a job contract or something that would have a completion date, because the Sun is this card of completion. With it being reversed, it's like it feels like there might be a last minute problem, or check the small print, make sure you're not signing for something that is detrimental to you. Okay, so look at anything that's offered to you very carefully. Okay, I just realized how much I say okay, then, okay, or right. I'm so pleased that I do these live and never listen back to what I've actually put out there because like it would be horrible. Okay, I think we have come to an end. I haven't seen any questions, which makes life easy for me. So I'm away to see what's in that package, Kaza. You've got me hopeful here, but I think it's something really boring actually. I'm just trying to think what it is. Do you do that when you get a parcel and you're so excited and you think, oh, and then you open it and then it's like dishcloths? Or, yeah, lottery numbers. No, I can't see any questions. Grand. Well, it's been lovely to spend time with you. I'm sure that we shall cross paths online in the next few days. I will be back doing this on Friday. I've got another reading that I'm doing this afternoon, which I might post as well. That's like one of those celebrity ones. Now, why do I keep doing celebrity readings? Because I keep getting asked to do different celebrities, and I'm not really a follower of celebrity, so it makes it quite easy, because it's very difficult to do a tarot reading for somebody that you know, because you don't know what you're actually seeing, sensing, and what is like what you know about them. So I've always found it really difficult, same as reading for yourself. So when you're reading for a celebrity, you've almost got like a permission base a little bit, because they put themselves out there for a job. They employ PR companies and pay them whatever to actually get their name in people's mouths. So I feel like it's less intrusive than doing somebody else. Plus, I would never reveal something awful about somebody if I saw it. And it also means that if you're learning tarot, you can watch and I explain what I'm doing, so it's easy to see how the spread is developing. And it sort of gives people that like those celebrities a bit of insight, and it's fun. So I'm going to do Keanu Reeves this afternoon. So we shall see what comes out about Keanu. So hopefully I'll be uploading that later on today. Thank you for being here. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. Please share the stream and like it. And I shall see you on Friday. And stay weird.